This is my seller's studio, and these are some items that have been sitting in my store. No, not my physical one, but my eBay store. And over here we have a little bit of mess that we're gonna try and address today. And we have some more items that are unsold and some items that are also unlisted. We're gonna be working on listing those today. We are going to also be going into some new items that I just purchased, and we'll be cleaning, taking pictures, and listing those items as well. And then we will be wrapping it all up at the end and using my new favorite reseller tool to input all the items, see how much profit we made for each item, and see the potential profit for the future. So let's get into it. We got the wipes and first item. We have a PS1 here that we did buy. We won't be able to list it yet because we do want to bundle it with games. We have other PS1s on the way with more games. We like to make sure it's high quality photos that we're taking. And the wipes seem to leave a little white hairs on it. Look, we actually figured out one of these seems to be getting stuck. Now we can be transparent. Kind of gentle with that there. It's time to test this bad boy out. Let's see if it works. We do have a Nintendo 64 here, and we're gonna go ahead and see if this works. I already cleaned it earlier. Huge sigh of relief there. As you can see, these controllers are really dirty. They actually took a while to clean. They're very frustrating. But look at these thumbsticks. Like, what are people doing while they're gaming? These PS3 controllers were part of a bundle with a bunch of other PS3 items. We're going to show you the rest of these items. We have a couple of controller chargers there. One of them I realized I don't have all the pieces. We have a PlayStation Eye, number 1. We do have another PlayStation Eye, number 2. And we have the money maker of the set. We have a controller. And a bunch of games. Stack 1. Stack number 2. Also got a stack of PS4 games to bundle. And got this PS4 controller that seems to be really chewed up and overused, for lack of a better word. And then we have some PS4 controllers I got in a bundle, and they're relatively clean. It's really not too bad. Lastly, we do have a MacBook, and this is a vintage MacBook. These things, they go for decent money with their chargers. Little did I know their chargers were over $40. So we'll see if we make money on this, but we know for sure one thing is we're gonna clean it. Voila. Okay, I lied, there's more. This is a VR headset. It's called the Oculus MetaQuest 2, I believe. This thing was practically brand new. It's kind of weird because it looks almost brand new with tags, but it was obviously used. Yeah, it's a nice looking product. Very clean, easy to sell. Here we have a PS2 Slim with a very filthy controller again. Not sure what is with these controllers, but dang, gamers might be disgusting. Let's go ahead and start it up, test it out. Really just love to hear it. Now it's time to fire up a game, see if this thing's functioning properly. Here is the problem. This thing would not shut. I could not figure it out during this filming of this part, but it was a real issue. I had to tear apart the entire console, and I found out the isolated part. There's nothing wrong with it. It was just getting jammed. Luckily, no scratches on the disc, but this thing was really confusing at first. Luckily for me, it was nothing that WD-40 couldn't fix. This is what this corner looks like at the moment. And we did just sell this item here. So we're definitely gonna be packaging this up. And then we're gonna be trying to package some of these up so we can, instead of having a stack of boxes and a bunch of packaging materials, we'd have like a nice stack of boxes or something somewhere. Here it is now, and all right, so we have made a small dent. Here is the Nintendo. Here is a PS4. Here is one of the VR headsets. And here is the Xbox 360. But I do have to stop with this and take this guy to the post office. We are back from the post office and pretty much done organizing, cleaning up for now. Obviously, it's, active. It's an active work center. But I do have access to my weights now. So, motivation. And let's start over here. We've packed up pretty much everything in there. Have a bunch of PS2 titles ready to look at. We have our PS1 up here, MacBook, PS2 that's more ready to sell. This stuff here is old. This will sell for like $9 at Turtle Beach. But the graphics cards and stuff, I did get into building PCs, which went decently well. And, maybe eventually we get back into that. But for now, this is much more manageable. And we have all our controllers. We got the working ones on this side, and then we have the not working turned around. These are untested, but they look like they're gonna work. We have our boxes, and then we have our shipping materials, which I've done a decent job at hiding for now. This is for emergencies, just in case, you never know. We did just sell this item here. It's funny, the one thing I haven't packaged yet is what's sold first. Let's go look at this stuff. So we have a PS3 there, PS4, some Beats, another PS4. So, one place I have not shown you is this area here. I'm a Rams fan. Go Rams, coming up on the playoffs. Round 2 against the Bears, literally tomorrow, but hopefully they win. If you see this, you're gonna know the outcome. Here we have a bunch of PS3 games, which PS3's green light, looking good. We have even more back here. I also have PS4 games. So my plan was to be buying PS4 games and buying consoles and bundles and then creating bigger bundles and selling them. But right now, they are stopping support for games like Fortnite and other stuff, which, in the short to medium term, it's not that big of a hit, but the market is overreacting. Just like every other market, stock market, it is overreacting to the news. So I have lowered the price quite a bit on some of these PS4s. Maybe they sell, maybe they don't. I'm not too worried about sitting on them a little bit because, look, there's still good games out. All these games will still be working. I think for the most part is some of the online games, maybe Rocket League. So as far as online losing support, I mean, maybe it would be less of an overreaction if that's the case. But as far as I'm aware, I don't think that's the case for games like Battlefield or Destiny even, or I don't know if Watch Dogs has online, or Battlefront has a pretty big online. So yeah, all we have left to do, we need to go over here to the computer and we will be showing you my favorite application. We will also be inputting everything we've sold so far and how much profit we made. So here we are at my seller's studio, and as you can see, there's our profit and there's our recent sales. But that profit really isn't much, right? But the reality of the situation is that it does not tell the full story. So we're gonna go ahead and try and tell the full story here by looking at all the different items that we have sold. And it will help if you guys understand how this app is operating, because there's a lot of minuses here. +3, -3, +11, +9, -4. But it's putting the cost at 7.6. So I have 10 earpods from Apple. I paid $38 for it. As you can see, there's $55 in revenue. So that's $17 in profit. That took a couple weeks to sell. So percentage-wise, pretty good. Dollar amount, not amazing. $86 in revenue so far, -228. And that's the only item we have in there. Oh. And then we do have a big glaring issue here, -338 in profit from PS4s. So we did buy 4 PS4s for around $100 a piece, and we've sold 2 so far for $250. There was the news that we talked about with PS4s that actually decreased the price pretty drastically, probably about $30-40, which to me, that's all my profit. So we have -338 there, but that -338 is with the 2 consoles that we have not sold. $586 is everything that I bought for PS4s. I still have 6 controllers. I still have about 7 games. And if we sold each console, we've made $100 or $100 from each console. That'll leave $140. So $140 for 7 games and 6 controllers. Our plan is to buy more PS4s so then we can offload the rest of those items in an efficient manner. And that PS4 that damaged in transit, the value got depleted by about $30 probably. So there goes that profit as well. So PS4s have been not problematic, but ran into a few problems. But in the end, we should pretty much break even or maybe lose a little bit of money. That's what the big market reaction and the big news that came out that really affected the price. So let's move on to the next lot. I did get a headphone lot. Came with 4 headphones, and off 2 of the 4 headphones, I had Beats Solo, sell for $55, I believe. I made $28 on that, and then the Razer Kraken, I made about $5 on that. And so 58 total revenue, and we made $33 in profit off the entire lot. And we still do have 2 headphones from that lot that I have not, one hasn't sold, but it's really cheap. Right now it's listed for $750. And we have Beats Studio, that the headband is broken, but they do function properly. So I could still get $20 or $30, and that is all profit. Then we have the history books. So we could see System of Penal Law. That one sold for over $300 after all the fees and stuff, made $270 profit. And then the Kent's Commentary, lot of 4 books that I got, costed $40. So technically it's $10 per book. Don't have the other 2 books in here. Yeah, that one was profitable, which is always good. And then we had an Apple items lot. So that was, we had an Apple mouse, we had a keyboard, that sold for $33.13. We did make $9 on that one against its estimated cost. And then we had the Super Drive sell for $20 and we lost $5 on that. So we made $4 profit. And then we got this kids toys, which did come with a lot of like 5 different items, and only selling one of them, we did make $24 off of that sale, which net us $12 profit on the original price. So we do have 2 more items and we're already in profit, and the rest is just profit on top. It's a cherry on top, right? So we are gonna try and drop those and get those sold, and then hopefully that 12 turns into 20, 25, potentially, maybe more. And then we do have our first purchase with this reselling journey, which was jackets. I bought jackets and purses, and I actually ended up losing money. As you can see, this one came with 5 jackets. So I still am sitting on 3 jackets that I've not sold, and I've sold 2, and I've lost $34. So that is kind of, again, motivating to just offload, because even though we probably lost money on this transaction, I could recoup that 34 back most likely, and at least get most of it back. Maybe we lose $10, whatever. I won't be touching jackets again. It's not what I'm interested in. This item, we did lose $13. So I bought it for $37.62. I had to buy a charger, and I got it for $30, which I thought was cheap, before I had realized it was a different model than I was looking at. So I ended up losing $14 on that. That is the first item that we officially definitely lost money on, not due to any other errors besides just myself not researching enough or missing something. And our most profitable item was the Oculus Rift S. And this item we sold for, I think the retail value was $140, $135. Walked away with $113. We paid $62.24 for it. Made a nice $50 profit. And we didn't have to sit on that one for very long. The most profit we made on a single item was $200 and something, but that's quite the outlier. And the next decent profit margin was the Xbox 360 console, which we did sell in this video. During the filming of this video, we ended up buying it for about 40 something dollars, but we ended up having to buy a hard drive for the console, which is not something that I overlooked, but I ended up getting a nicer hard drive, so it cost about $26, which was, like, compared to the price of the console, that was a lot. And it was brand new for the customer, even left it in the bubble wrap. $100, 17 cents in total revenue. We walked away with $32.51 in profit. So that brings us back to the seller's suite. Now, 166 profit, that's not insane, right? But we do still have PS3s to sell. We have PS4s to sell, and all that stuff, whatever else is sold, is profit on top of here. So estimate that I net about $100 from each PS4, which is pretty reasonable. That would bring this total up to 366. And then say from the PS3s that I sell, I net about $80 each, which is pretty realistic again. And I'm gonna shoot for more than that. But we like to underestimate in these situations, because then you're always pleasantly surprised rather than surprised in the other direction. So then add another 160 to that, and then we have $520 profit. We've made about $400 since we started this reseller journey. Has been like over a month since we started. So as far as like profit per month and stuff like that is not great, but also we're just starting. We don't have capital built up. I only was putting like a few $100s at a time. And so now we've kind of scaled it up, and we have so many more items to sell. We do have this PS1 here that's like almost, it seems brand new. And then we have two PS2s there. There's the PS3 with the broken disc drive. We have PS1 games. We have PS2 games. We have PS1 controllers, PS3 controllers. We have a bunch of stuff down here for PS3. So we might bundle some of this stuff with consoles just to get a higher price on those consoles, so we don't have to promote them, because so much money goes towards promotion when that does need to happen, which I've been doing if items are sitting and I think they're fairly priced but they're not being shown. That's when I promote. I try and promote around 5%. 5% of the sales, you know, if it's a $150 sale, that 5% is about $750. Then you go the tax. I live in California, so that'll bring it up to like, it's over 10%. It's 12%, I believe, or something, sales tax. 12%. So on a $150 item, that's taken away 15. So there you go, like 150 item, we're already down under 130, and that's not even set. That doesn't even include seller's fees or anything like that. As you can see, we have a couple controllers over here, and this is the operation. A lot has changed for the most part. A lot of stuff has moved since the last time I filmed this area. But as you can see, I've been keeping it nice and organized for the most part. I mean, it doesn't look amazing, but still have access to these weights, and I can guarantee you that I have not touched them. So if this is the sort of stuff that interests you, if you're enjoying watching this video and you're excited to see me move the rest of this stuff and learn from my mistakes, we moved on from PS4s to PS2s because the profit margins are a decent amount larger, and they might not sell as fast, but the profit margins are crazy. So we do have one PS2 listed. It's already boxed up, and we're going to be going through the profits, what we could potentially make, and all that stuff in the next video. We'll be starting the next video out with that, and then we'll just be reselling and continuing to buy, continuing to unbox, just continuing the reselling journey. So please subscribe, and if you enjoyed it, go down in the comments section and say you're part of the OG gang, because the OG gang is here. I'm not stopping. This is a new channel, and this is a new interest and a new hobby of mine that I do really enjoy. I've been really enjoying it, and I've been getting the ball rolling. So more content is on the way, and you guys will be OGs. No doubt about it. Peace and love.